Yes, we're live. Hello!
Hello,
Oh, there are
everyone.
already 2 people. Ooh, hi
Yay!
Saskia. She's a friend of mine.
That's so cute.
That's really cool. Okay, welcome everyone. I think we just have to wait a little bit for people to kind of roll in. But
Yes.
we're going to discuss The Popular
Oh
by
my
Ara
god.
Kuang. And we're going to start with a non-spoiler section, so even if you haven't read the book, you can just watch it anyway. And
As you can see from the
as you can see from the
bar.
really cool banner. And then when we go into spoilers, the banner will disappear, and then you'll know.
Yes.
People are excited. Oh, I didn't mean to click that, sorry. People are excited.
I like that
Hello.
comment. You two are shining. Well, with me, it's just sweat. That's my secret.
I have my halo of fairy lights here.
So cute.
Yes. Feels very, it's like the first day before September and I'm ready to go into my autumnal decorations and everything.
Let's go. Like, really. Already, I don't know, the weather in the Netherlands has kind of like decided it's fall, autumn already, so.
Just like that, boom. Like from just super hot weather to boom, rain.
Just
all
let's
the time.
go.
Yes. Oh, someone says they finished it yesterday, so they could join. That's nice. I finished it an hour ago, so
That's just perfect timing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Now I still know everything. Like everything's still in my brain, so that's good.
Yeah. I think that today, guys, the person who will remember the most of this book is definitely Leonie. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I was like a few days ago, I was like, okay, I need to finish this book. So when I wake up, I was like, I'm just going to read immediately. I'm going to pick up the book when I wake up.
Yeah.
And then I just read for like 3 hours in the morning until I was like, maybe I should get breakfast.
Oh my god, you didn't even eat before you read it? That's dedication.
No, I was like sitting in my bed and like it was on my nightstand. So I was like, well, instead of going on my phone for like an hour in the morning, I can just read my book. And then I was
And
really
be productive. Oh my god.
Okay, so today, first, what we want to talk about is the next book for our book club. Because we're here for our book club, by the way.
And we still haven't we still haven't picked a September-October book, and in 2 days it's September, so.
Yeah, and you guys can help us choose, because just like last time, there will be a poll on our Twitter, and there's a link in the description. So we would just quickly go over the books that are going to be in the poll and quickly talk about what they're about, so you guys can make a decision and vote in the poll.
Yes, so I have them on a little piece of paper here because Leonie and I discussed like a couple of picks, which would probably be nice. I don't think we know a lot about any of them, to be honest. Do we?
Just basic synopsis.
Yeah. I think Leonie is even better in the synopsises, if I say it like that, than I am. So pick number 1 is a Mexican Gothic by, okay, now I have to Spanish pronunciation, Celia Moreno Garcia. So we have that one. Then we have Star Daughter by Shweta Takar. I don't know how to say this. I'm really sorry if I'm butchering the author's name. And then last but not least, we have Patron Saints of Nothing by Randy Rebay.
Yes.
So those are the picks. So I think the first book is, well, Mexican Gothic, so I believe it takes place in Mexico.
Yeah, I think it's like it's a horror book.
Yeah, what we kind of
about, and it takes place in like this Gothic mansion in Mexico. So that sounds really cool.
If that doesn't sound good, then I don't know what does. What did you say?
Yeah, and perfect for October.
Yes. Then we have Star Daughter, which is, I don't know if it really takes place in India, I believe it was. But
I don't know actually. It's urban fantasy, but it's inspired by Indian culture. And there's a magical tournament involved.
Which
and it's,
I think
it's YA urban fantasy. And it was like released in August, so it's like a really new release.
Yeah. And
then the last one?
Yeah. Patron Saints of Nothing. Someone is telling me how I should pronounce it. Rebay, if I'm saying it correctly right now. And that takes place in the Philippines. And I think we kind of especially wanted to read that right now because some not so good stuff is happening in the Philippines right now, or just a lot of political things are going on there right now, and it would just be nice to read something that takes place in the Philippines as well.
And that was also contemporary. YA
yes,
contemporary.
and I've also read I have that one right here with my boyfriend because he wanted to have this book because of the cover. I want to show you. Wait a second. I have it. It deals with basketball, and my boyfriend plays basketball. So
oh, cool.
Yeah. So that's one of his other books.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you put up the poll on Twitter right now?
I will make a Twitter tweet. A Twitter? I will make a Twitter.
Okay. I think there were some questions while we were talking. Saskia asked when you finished the book, Sabine.
I finished it at the beginning of August, so I read it. I think it took me about 2 weeks to read. So from like mid-July until the very beginning of August. So it hasn't been too long, but I forget things very quickly.
Yeah. Oh, and Lily is here. Hi. I love seeing Lily's tweets about Kitai because she's like a Kitai fangirl, and so am I. So
yes, I can agree as well.
There. And a lot of people are saying that they love Mexican Gothic.
Very nice. If I'm not looking at the screen, looking at my phone for the tweet right now.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, so I guess, we have a guest because that's more fun. So I'm just gonna introduce you all to Meg from Meg with Books. Hi.
Hello.
It's been patient.
That was so dramatic. I was like,
I've
been here this whole time. I'm so excited to chat about the Poppy War. It's been, for me, I read it the longest ago out of all of us. It's been 2 months, but I'm really excited. I'm really excited to chat about it.
Like it's all gonna come back when we talk about it.
Yeah.
How many hours should we let people pick our book? 48 hours?
Yeah, I think that's...
Yeah?
I see everyone having their videos of their fairy loot unboxings, but I can't watch them because I'm still waiting for mine.
I just posted mine, and it was such a good box. It was such a good box.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Leonie, did you also receive the email like, your box has been sent? I was just like...
Yeah, it's in the national shipping hub, according to my track and trace. So I think we might receive it soon.
Yeah, I hope so. I can't wait for it.
So
it was so good.
Are we all reps?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm so excited. I have had a subscription to the box previously for like 2 years. So when I got accepted as a rep, I was like, truly, this is kind of a dream come true.
Yep, I've always wanted one.
So cool.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't think it was real when it came in. I was like, this is a scam. This isn't it. And then I was like, oh wait, no, maybe it is real. Maybe I don't know why someone would pretend to be fairy loot. Like, I don't know why I think that'd be fake. I was like, I don't trust it.
That would be a really good imitation, though.
Yeah.
I have put up the tweet on our Twitter, so if you guys want to vote for the September-October book, you can do that right now.
I so badly want to say something about, but I can't. About one of the choices, but I can't say it. But you'll realize soon. But it's very exciting.
Oh, okay. You are making us more. Just the curiosity.
Okay, but let's talk about the Poppy War, right? I think we have about 130 people watching, so We have a really big book club right now.
Yes, we do. Imagine
cool.
130 people in a room. Like, okay, that's not possible, especially not right now, but imagine.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just begin with like a little round where we all explain our thoughts on the book, like non-spoilery, quick likes, dislikes, that stuff. You want to start, Sabine?
I'll start. So I think the people who have been following me for a little while know that I'm not the biggest fantasy reader, and especially when it comes to like adult fantasy, high fantasy, I get so intimidated just by those words because I'm like, adult? I'm not. I don't feel like that. And just fantasy always takes a little longer to get into, in my experience. And the Poppy War, adult fantasy. Holy crap. But it was
and
really
even grimdark fantasy.
Yes, so even maybe a little more intense, definitely a little more intense than that. It was, for me, pretty easy to get into. I really, really enjoyed the writing. It's very difficult for me to say like exactly what I loved, but it was easy to get into, and everything was so well described, so that was what I really liked about it. And besides that, the characters are just also complex and just, I don't know, I felt like an instant connection to them in some type of way. What else can I say about it? I loved everything. I loved it all.
How many stars did you give it? 5 stars?
I think I did. I cannot really think of anything that I didn't like that much. I think maybe the second half I liked a little less than the first half, but that's something that maybe we can get into later on. But it's not as if something was there that really bothered me. So yes, I'd say 5 stars.
Okay. Meg, what's your opinion?
So I'd say like I read quite a bit of fantasy. Like I read quite a mix, but fantasy is definitely one of my most read genres. And what I love in fantasy is like the political motivations and like context of everything. And I think this book just did that so well. I feel like that was just one of the main like pluses for it. I thought that it, with some of the characters, they can be really powerful and have like these great abilities, and sometimes in other fantasy books I feel like that's not properly accounted for in like kind of like a military setting. Like if you're that powerful you could just do anything, whereas I feel like the characters were really powerful but had like flaws and drawbacks and like personal difficulties that made it a lot more realistic. So I really loved that aspect of it, and I think like the pacing of it was great. Like so much of it, like she managed to fit so much into this book. I feel like so much happens. And yeah, like Sabine said, I love the characters. I feel like even the characters you only meet briefly are so well rounded and like don't just feel like stereotypes or just there for a scene. Like they really feel like real like beings. So yeah, I really loved it. When I was watching my reading vlog back to like remember everything that I said, I did give it a 4.75, but I remember it as a 5. So like I feel like over time it's gone up to a 5 in my memory. I don't know why I was so like awkward and saying, oh, it's a 4.75, which like who does that? But now I do think of it. Yeah. I've been trying to be more strict with my 5 stars, so I think that's probably just it. But like I think of it now as a 5 star. Yeah, I just thought it was just so well done. That's my thought.
Nothing wrong with being like a little bit critical. Like
no,
maybe some things with this book which aren't actually that perfect, but with rating books on Goodreads, like a 4.75 sounds so awkward and it's strange. Yeah. Well, if you put it in your head, like that's a 9.5 out of 10, which
that sounds
better.
Even if you give a book 5 stars, you can still have critiques of it. You can still critique it, right?
Yeah.
True.
I could tear apart my 5-star books if I wanted to, but I don't want to.
You did that, right? Did you do that with the 5th season, or what was that on your Instagram?
What?
You put something on your Instagram, like I'm a book murderer or something.
Oh!
And I was like, did she rip apart?
No, I just used the secondhand book in my art journal.
Oh.
I used I just cut out pictures of it and I made it like a little scrapbook. Yeah.
I didn't say anything.
I didn't do anything to the 5th season. No.
I was like, did you cut the cover of it? I was like, damn, this girl.
No.
But Leonie, now share your thoughts about.
Okay, so I really enjoyed it. It wasn't quite 5 stars for me, but definitely 4 stars. I loved the characters, like especially because when you think about it, you only ever follow Rin's perspective, and yet all the side characters were so vivid. And I think some of my favorite characters out of this book is not even Rin. They're side characters that I love so much. And I loved the action scenes. Like, for very few times does it happen to me that I'm not confused by action scenes. But these I could just follow so easily. The only thing that I didn't really like was somewhere like in the middle in part 2. I thought it was a little bit less fun, but like that's it. Oh, and political fantasy is not something that I really like. So all the parts about strategy of the war, I was like, you've lost me. I don't. Yeah. That's just.
Then I'm very curious how you would feel about the Dragon Republic, because not spoilers, but like what I've heard from some people is that goes a lot more into the strategy. So I'm also very curious to see what I will think of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait to read it. I'm like scared of it, but I can't wait to read it.
Yeah. I heard it only gets like more, how do you say that? Like grim with each book. Like I follow Arafung on Twitter, which you should definitely do because she's super funny on Twitter. And she has all these things where like people ask her questions of like, please, like let my favorite characters be happy, and she's like, no. Yeah, no, it's terrible. Yeah, that's what fan fiction is for. No, and no one's gonna be happy. So
yeah, I've heard that too with people who got like arcs of what's the third one called?
The Burning God?
Yeah, and that she was like, none of the readers who finished it ended the book without crying. Like all of them were deceased. So
exciting. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a few questions. Or not really questions. Oh, right. I did hear this as well, that she's also writing another series, which is going to be like an Oxford Dark Academia series about imperialism. And I was like, sign me up.
This is your book.
Yeah, that sounds so amazing. It sounds like when I heard her describing it, I was like, oh my god, like it sounds so good. I can't wait for that. I can't wait.
Apparently I live under a rock because I haven't I didn't know that was happening.
Yeah, that's just on her Twitter. Also, I'm just like amazed by her because like a few days ago she turned in her master's thesis. And I was like, how did you do that while like writing best-selling books? What the hell?
Like
she's
this
24.
woman. Oh my god, I will never accomplish anything like that by 24.
No. I have 1 year.
You can do it, Leonie. Write that New York Times bestseller.
Right. Rebecca asks, to which character do you relate the most? I think we can answer that in the non-spoiler section, right?
Yeah.
I think if any one of us would say Rin, I'd be scared.
I mean, to be honest, like, all of the characters are like, you know, like soldiers and like superior war people, so it's kind of difficult to relate to anyone.
Yeah. I don't tend to relate to characters, just in general. Like, I don't, because some people find that really important. No, some people are like, if they can't relate to the characters, they don't like the book. And I'm like, I don't relate to any characters. Like, if
I were to relate to any of these characters, then I'm sad for me. If that was true.
Maybe, I think maybe Katai would be the safest option of them all.
Yeah.
But that's also because he's the voice of reason. He's like the only one who's a little bit more like, maybe not do war.
That's true. We're like so reasonable. Like,
yeah. I know. But I think we
see
can
now...
talk about our favorite characters, maybe.
Ooh, yeah.
No, maybe we should do that in the spoiler section. Better, right?
Better, maybe.
Yeah. Okay, so Sabine, you have some non-spoiler rapid-fire questions, right?
Yes, I was thinking maybe we can like, if we can reason why without spoilers, that's awesome. But maybe otherwise we can even like do it a little bit more into the spoilery section. Let's just start with non-spoilery thoughts. So I came up with number 1, which is part 2 or part 1. Which one did you like more?
Yeah, because that's like people are really divided over that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
I preferred part 1 because I am a huge fan of just training sequences in books. I love that. So just all the classes that she had to take and all her classes with her mentor. I loved that. Yeah, so definitely. Well, but like part 2 has a lot of like great action.
Yes.
But I think part 1 was my favorite. Yeah.
I agree. Do you want to go, Sabine? Sorry.
Yeah, it's me. No. I agree with you too, but you explain first.
For me, like, I love that like school vibe that we had, and I really loved like how much she learned in that section, in that part, and like how much we saw her grow. And I feel like part 1 is really where you fall in love with the story, and then when like, no spoilers, but when stuff changes, like it does, you're like, oh, okay, we're going down like a completely different route here. Do you know what I mean? And I just loved like the school vibes, like training, and just like her exploring like lore and stuff. I really loved part 1. Yeah,
I feel you too. Also, just getting introduced to all of the side characters, and part 1 is definitely different from part 2, like you said as well. But it was just so nice to see her at like this kind of boarding school and seeing like her abilities and how far she can go. And part 2 is definitely very different. Like Leonie said, super action packed. But it does get a whole lot more dark, I think, and goes definitely more into like war and strategies. And that's just something completely different. And I think that Leonie, I don't know, Megan, if you've seen this, but that Leonie would agree that part 1 definitely feels a lot like Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah. Yeah, it does feel like that. But
Megan?
also,
I haven't. I know.
Should.
Shame.
But yeah, with like the elements and just the kind of Eastern way of teaching, I guess.
Yeah.
And just like the spiritual things. Yeah, the wise master. I just.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to number 2. I'm hoping to pronounce these names correctly. Katai or Neja? Which one would you choose?
Katai.
I love Katai. Yep, definitely. Yeah.
Katai is the best.
I'm trying to see if I have my little notebook here.
This, by the way, Sabine, this Fang Runin gives off Korra vibes. I do really think so. Oh wait, did you not see Korra?
No.
Okay, well, I agree with you, Ewald.
I was like, Korra, like, no, that was Katara, so like, who's Korra again? But I believe it's coming to Netflix really soon. So, and my boyfriend has watched it, and he was like, Korra is so good. You are gonna love it. So
I'm gonna rewatch it.
Yeah.
But for a question, definitely Katai. It's like, what was it pronounced? Nasa?
Naja, I think.
He had to grow on me, but I think that's kind of I think that's where I'm
kind of the point, I think.
But I hope to see more of him, like in the next books.
I feel like Kitai. I mean, I haven't read the other books, but like I feel like Kitai will probably be quite like a constant throughout the stories. Like whereas Najar will like have to like grow more and like examine and question some of his beliefs more. I think.
Yeah, I feel you. I think so too. Then we have 3, Yang or Alton. For me, this one is really pretty obvious as well. I don't know. It's it's obvious for me. I'd say Yang.
Same.
Yeah, same. I love Yang so much.
Yeah, he was so weird.
My favorite character, definitely.
Yeah, but like he's like close with Kitai. But I love those. Just I don't know if this is a spoiler, but just like he's like the mentor character, and I love that.
Yeah,
just like weird mentors.
Oh, I love him. Oh, that was my favorite part of the book, just his part.
Yeah, me too. I was looking forward to reading that so much. I think definitely Yang plays a role in part 1 being a little bit more my favorite part versus part 2, because he was so weird but so wise, and that's all I'm going to say about him for right now.
But I do have to say that Alton he's like such just like a fantastically written character. I just don't personally feel very attached to him, but I do think he was like a super great character.
Yeah, I think so too. I was so intrigued from him, like the moment that we met him. I think when I first saw his name pop up, I was like, we will definitely be seeing more of him in this book. Like it's just, it has to be. Then we have the psych or being part of one of the divisions.
I like the psych. I think that's like so cool.
I just think you're so cool.
Yeah, me too. It's not really a spoiler when you say that. It's kind of like the people who go to or like into the psych are kind of, how do you say that? Outside of the group. I don't know how you.
Misfits.
Kind of a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And we love misfits.
Just like how do you call that? Like I don't know. I'm looking for an expression, but I don't know.
Kind of like maybe the underdogs. Could you kind of
like the band of misfits? Like
and then no, this is a spoiler, so I won't say it. The last one that I wrote down in the chat, so that will be for the spoilery part.
So, anyone have any more non-spoilery questions for us? Anything to share? I don't really. It's just I just recommend it. It's just really great.
Pick it up.
It's just so action-packed. It is very like bleak and dark, so you need to be able to take some gore, definitely.
Yeah, like read the trigger warnings, and if that's not okay for you, then don't pick up the book. But I literally hadn't heard of this book before March. And then I did like a tag and I was like, the Poppy War. Not interested in that. We'll probably never pick it up. And then it was chosen for our book club and I was like, oh, okay. Yes, I gotta read it right now. And I love it. It's one of my new favorite books of all time, definitely of 2020. So if you are even like doubting to pick it up, believe me, do it.
I think it's so funny because it came out 2 years ago and suddenly it's everywhere. Like everyone's reading the book. Same with the 5th season. Also came out like 4 years ago and everyone's reading that right now. It's like these 2 books.
They deserve it.
Yeah, they do. They definitely
do.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we can go on to the spoiler section now. So if you haven't read the book, go ahead and read it, and then come back. Or watch the spoiler section if you're like me and you don't care about spoilers because you don't love yourself or something. I don't know. I have a tendency to watch spoiler live shows for books I haven't read because I just wanna watch them. But yeah, we're gonna go into spoilers now. I think I should put up a banner.
A spoilery banner.
It looks fancy, so.
There it is.
Okay.
All right. Let's
Okay,
begin
we
talking
start?
about the spoilers. Do your
I don't
last
even know where to start.
What did you say, Megan?
Oh, I was just saying I don't know where to start, but let's start with your
Oh,
last
thought-
quick fire thing.
Yeah, okay, so the last rapid fire thing that I came up with is like which scene was more intense to you? So at the beginning of part 2, the battle at Sinagard, or the scene where everyone goes into Golinnis, where just like literally all of the bodies of people who have been killed were stacked up. To me, this is an obvious choice.
Yes.
It's like the famous chapter 21 thing.
Yeah, chapter 21.
Yeah.
Everyone said.
I didn't even
I didn't even know that was famous.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw people on Twitter going like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna read chapter 21 now," and then they would come out of it like, "Oh no!" So I was like, "Yeah," but the battle at Sinagard didn't really. I mean, it didn't really have that much of an impact on me. It was just like, "Oh, there's a bar now, and lots of things are going on." And Jiang.
Something like
I
that.
was immediately like, "He's the gatekeeper, right?" Because he's summoning these beasts.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then later it was like a plot twist, and I was like, wait, I thought we already established that.
Yeah. True, now that you're saying it.
I can't remember if I realized that. I'm not very good at like when I read, I don't theorize. I just read along. I'm like, okay, this is great. Like I don't theorize, like even with thrillers or anything. I don't think what's gonna happen next. I just like to be taken along for the ride.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, usually. Okay, but we're getting off track. Sorry. We were talking about chapter 21. A lot of people were like, yeah, that's really hard to read.
I was on the verge of tears constantly during this chapter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it
definitely.
was so intense.
Mm-hmm. I read that right before I went to bed. I don't know why I did that. I was like, oh, I'm at chapter 21. Too. Well, better read that before I go to sleep. And then I was like, if I go to sleep now, I'm going to have nightmares. So I need to watch some YouTube. Yeah, it was, not fun. But did you guys, like, anticipate that chapter? So, like, because I knew that there was going to be something in chapter 21 that was very gruesome, but I did not expect this. I thought it was going to be, like, something that would happen to Rin. I thought it was going to be, like, a torture scene of her, but I didn't expect this, like, grand scheme, just pages-long description of all the horrible things.
Yeah.
So that was like, oh, didn't like that. But it was a very important scene. Yeah. To like show the, how do you call it, the hardships.
No, I was totally not expecting that to happen. I didn't even know that there was going to be that chapter in the book. So for me, it was also, I think even like, how do you say it, 12:30 in the evening. So I was ready to go to bed. I was just like, read a nice chapter and then I'll be sleepy, you know? And then that happened and I was just sitting there with the book. I was like what's going on, you know? And,
but it also the chapter doesn't even like end in a like nice way. Like it ends with what was to me the worst part was Veska's story with the baby.
Yeah. That was the bit I found hardest to read. Yeah. But I think like I kind of expected it because I knew that like a lot of this book is based in reality. And like when I studied like politics and stuff, I studied like a lot of these real life atrocities. And so like when I was reading it, as well as being like really emotionally impacted, I was like reading it going like, yeah, like I know what this is based off of, like because this all happened, you know, like the massacres like this and all the atrocities that are being described happened. And so like I think that makes it even harder when you're reading it because you're reading it going like this is real, like this isn't just a fantasy book. So so I think that's what made it harder for me, like thinking about that actually like happening in real life as well.
Right. I didn't even know that.
I was thinking about Vanka's story. I have already forgotten it. Is it with wait, tell it again to me. Is it with the babies who are kind of like, were they set up in these weird containers or something like that? Was that even a thing?
I don't remember. I kind of read that and I immediately just pushed everything away.
A mean man did something mean to a baby, I think.
Oh,
that's what I remember. Yeah. Well, didn't mean things to a lot of people. Yeah, like when she was describing, like, I mean, it was 2 months ago that I read it, but didn't he I don't want to get it wrong. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I feel like okay, whatever. I don't want to get it wrong, but I feel like, yeah, didn't he like rip
I'm trying to see if I have
stomach or something? I think, or am I imagining that? Yeah, a soldier ripped a baby out of a pregnant woman's stomach. Yeah, okay, I wasn't wrong. Like, and they raped loads of the women that were there as well, and like stuff, a lot of stuff like that happens in wartime, you know, like it's awful. And so like I feel like with this book, something that R.F. Kuang does really well is like the realism of war, like the real atrocities of war, because like this isn't like humans do unfortunately act this horrible in times of war. So yeah, I think that's like what makes it even more like hard to read.
Yeah, especially if you think that like so many fantasy books are about war, you know, and it's always this kind of spectacle thing, you know, like this great dramatic battle, and it's like very victorious and great. But in this book, it was just like the truth that it's not something that's great and fantastical. It's just gruesome and horrible.
Yeah, that's what it does so well, I think, is like showing how awful war is. I don't like it in fantasy books, but it's like, oh, let's all go to war, and it will just, you know, it's like you said, it's this wonderful like victorious thing. When like war is ugly and like hurts, like, you know, it hurts so many people. So yeah, I think that's what the book does so well, and I think it's actually I think it's really unique in that. I think a lot of fantasy books like gloss over it. Like, because like power breeds that kind of abuse, like that abuse of power. With power comes an abuse of power, and so like I almost think now, having read it, if I read a fantasy book in a warlike setting and it doesn't address like the horrible things that happen in war, it's like, well, it almost doesn't feel like real, you know. I mean, fantasy doesn't have to feel real, but you know what I mean. Like it feels like it's like glossing over it, I guess.
But that's
also you say that sugar coating. Is that a term you can use for that?
Or like glorifying.
That's also glorifying. I think that's also what the author set out to do, right? Because she studied like Chinese history, and she also studied the war that it was based on. So she like turned it into a fantasy novel.
Yeah.
And I think she did really well.
Yes, I agree. And I think it like brings the story of what happened in real life to like people who wouldn't like read about it or know about it otherwise, you know. Like not everyone reads like non-fiction or like historical, like straight historical books. So I think like by blending it with the fantasy setting, like it will educate like more people on what happened. Because I know like some people have gone on to like read about it themselves following reading the Poppy War. Because I think like in the paperback, she has like loads of recommendations for books she read like when researching it, and I think like some people have like taken on wanting to educate themselves like more on it, and I think that's a really good thing.
I think you can even see it on the Wikipedia page of the Poppy War, or like somewhere it says like it's based on this war and this, I believe, social communist, if I'm saying things correctly. I'm so bad with terms like that. But yeah, you can, I think, easily learn more about what it's based upon. And it hasn't been that long ago. I think
I was so surprised by that. I thought it was based on the Opium Wars, so like 200, 300 years ago, but it's like World War II, basically.
Yeah.
So
And there's
I think it's kind of both.
Yeah, I think it's like a blend of inspirations, but like there's massacres like this were happening like are happening now. You know, like they're still happening now. They happened whenever there's war, stuff like this follows it. You know, so I think that's for me, like the strongest part of the book is how real it is about not only like the political side of war, but like all the bad. Not, I mean, war is bad, like to begin with, but like the way it doesn't glorify it, I guess. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that as well. All right. Other things.
Stuff.
Now we can rave about the book.
Yeah.
Let's
what else can we talk about?
I was thinking maybe first of all the characters, because the characters.
Yeah. The characters are so good.
But I was like so surprised because I saw on Twitter a lot of people were like shipping Nausea. I keep forgetting it.
Yeah.
Nausea.
Nausea
and Rin, and I was like, but how? Like, if you start reading it, I was like, but they're terrible to each other. And like, I'm a huge fan of Hate to Love, but this is just like straight up classism and racism.
Strange.
Like, this is not. How can this become something? And then, you know, he really kind of progressed as a person. And I was like, okay, I guess I can see, you know, they're becoming friends and there's nothing romantic happening yet. And I was like, okay, we can see character development here. I kind of like this now. I really liked in part 2 that they kind of had that moment where they were like, wait, we actually, you know, work together really well. And we should just kind of forget.
I think especially
other.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I think especially that scene when they have to like work together at the battle at Synagard is like where they kind of like back to back to each other, if I'm saying that correctly, and they were kind of just like doing all the things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, that was okay.
I love scenes like that.
That was kind of the moment where you're like, oh, okay, these two actually do, like, they can work together really well, but just like that racism is just not good. But I'm really kind of glad that later on in the story they can kind of get on each other's level, if I can say that in that way. But I still need to get on this ship, really. Like, I don't really ship Rin with anyone at this moment.
No.
Like, she's her own strong,
Yeah.
too strong, independent woman, I think.
I do think this, by the way, how do you think Neza will evolve? I had a feeling he's not done yet, and he is, because that was the thing, like, he healed so fast.
Yes.
And there was, like, something up with that, and then I just forgot about it. But something's with him. Like, do you guys think he might be a shaman as well, or?
I don't know. I think he's going to play a bigger and bigger role, like, as it goes on, and I think he is going to change a lot. But like, I also think like the racism and classism that has been built into him, like from obviously childhood, I guess, like from his whole life, like that is very difficult to remove, you know. So I don't know if he'll ever like have. I kind of just don't like him. I know it may be an unpopular opinion, but like he ain't my fave. So like, I don't know whether I can ever see him fully getting that full redemption arc. I can see him changing and evolving, but I can't see him being like, oh, I'm a good guy now. I'm perfect. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just can't.
Yeah,
I can't see that.
But yeah, I do think maybe it's going to be like vital to his character arc in the next 2 books. Maybe.
I was gonna say, Sabine, you know, you just said, "Oh, I don't ship Ren with anyone." Did you see last night? Kuang confirmed that she's bi.
Yeah, I saw that.
No,
but is it in the text? Also,
I don't know if she said it's in the text, but she confirmed in the live show that she did. But I don't know if she says it's in text or not. There was some other stuff that she was like, "This is in text. How have you not realized this, everyone?" But I don't know.
That's about Alton and Chagran, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
that they're in love. I also didn't catch up.
Ooh.
Here's the thing about Shangran. For some reason, this happens sometimes where you completely imagine a character, because I thought he was like old. I don't know why. I imagined him as like an old guy until I saw fan art, and he turned out to be like Altan's age, and they were in love, and I was like, wait, but he's an old man.
What is going on?
I think it's because he's got silver hair or like white hair, and you probably just thought, oh, he's old.
Yeah.
But I think that's more in text in the second book, to be fair, that like it's fully confirmed that they were in love from what I gathered, and obviously we haven't read that, but like I watched all of her live from last night today in preparation. It was so much fun.
Nice. Well, let's hope that it's in text then in the dragon, the burning god, probably, hopefully, and that it's not just like confirming it, but then nothing in text, you know.
Well, I think it's just in the past, isn't it? So I don't know if we'll ever.
Oh, right. Yeah, that could also be.
I think Nicole's question, hi Nicole, I think that's very interesting.
Where?
What did you guys think of Altan?
Oh, right.
I liked him.
I liked him too. When we were first introduced to him, I had no idea that he was going to play such a key role. I was like, oh, he's, that senior that she looks up to, and like a great fighter, and she's going to idolize him, and then we'll forget about him. And then he turned out to have such a huge role, and I did not see that coming, but I really loved it. Like, I really loved his storyline.
I wasn't bothered with him. Oh, sorry. I keep speaking. I wasn't bothered with him like at the beginning. I was kind of like, I don't feel any kind of way. But I thought he became so much more interesting like in part 2. But I agree with Matt. I didn't like the scene when he hit Rin. Like I was just like, no, I don't like this. I don't like it. Do you know what I mean? I just But I also think what's so great about the characters is their flaws. Like, how complex these characters are. Like, none of these, well, apart from maybe, like, we all love Kitai, but, like, other than him, he's perfect. He can, like, go over there. But, like, everyone else is flawed, like, in deep ways. Like, not just, like, oh, I have one bad characteristic. Like, they're really, like, not great people in a lot of ways.
No.
And I think that's what makes it so interesting as well. Like, you can think a character is a great character and a really interesting character and like the most well-written character ever, but also like not kind of like them at the same time. And I think he's got a really, really interesting story, and he's really like deep.
Yeah, I was kind of, I think, the opposite of you too, by the way, because when he was first introduced, I was like, this guy is gonna play a big role. Like, I can feel it. Like, because at this kind of like tournament somewhere, I don't know when it happened, somewhere in part 1, kind of at the ending or something, they have this really big tournament and everyone is like fighting against him, and he has like incredible abilities and just no one can win from him. And I was like, this has to mean something. Like, he has to play some kind of role in the story. And I was gonna touch upon something else, but now I've completely forgotten what I was gonna say. Stupid. But I don't know how I feel about Altan. I don't know how I feel about him. I think I do really like him, and he intrigues me all. History and his reasoning
I think you
and his reasoning behind his actions. What is it?
Oh, your connection jumped.
Oh, am I okay?
Yeah, you're okay.
Yeah, it's fine now.
Oh, okay. But can we talk about the ending also a little bit, or should we do that later on?
No, there's spoilers.
There's no.
Yeah, okay.
We made the rules.
Just because we're talking about characters right now, and I don't want to like to dwell away from the story too much, but everyone was talking about like the ending is so intense, you're gonna die, this, that, blah blah, and then like 100 pages before the ending, I predicted that Altan was gonna die. So I was like, okay, it's still really bad, and I'm really quite sad, but Now I already know the big thing that's happening in this book. But I'm just too smart.
I feel like it's kind of written into his story that like there's not much further he can not much further he can go, but like I think he's gonna die. Like I think that feels like more and more as it goes on, like the only path that is really like available for his personal story to go down. But I was still kind of shocked, but like yeah, I kind of saw that coming as well. I feel like it was not the right, but like that was what I
to go that way.
It was like the end of his arc, you know, kind of like Rin has become the new Alton, basically.
Yes.
You know, she now has the red eyes and all that.
I see, I'm sorry that I'm interrupting. I see your friend Saskia. She's saying exactly what I'm thinking, that I don't buy her being Spearly. It's, in my mind, it just, I'm like, is she
I also
really?
didn't. I was like, when that was mentioned, I was like, oh, you're Spearly. I was like, yeah, no. And then it turned out to be true, and I was like, I
still am in denial.
I don't know why. There's something about this trope that's like, ooh, you're like secretly have this different heritage that gives you special powers that I'm not a real big fan of that trope. So I was like, oh, okay. So the reason that you're so great is because of your heritage and not because you like worked so hard.
Yeah, because we couldn't know that her abilities, that she had them because she was Spearly, like, you know, like Alton, or I don't know who said it to her again, was like, oh yeah, duh, of course you are. And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's the same thing, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that as well. Like I kind of, you guys are talking about it. I'm like, I think in my memory, I just like pretended that wasn't true. Because the whole time I was reading it, I was like, yeah, she's not Spearly. But now I'm like, huh, maybe she is. I don't know.
I think we have to read the sequel in order to find out if she still is.
Is that a spoiler?
Was it? Maybe an interesting theory? Like that the woman would be her mother?
That one in the kind of spirit world who kind of tried to stop her constantly? I think I wrote down who she was. I don't know if it's her
She was the leader of the Spearly, Tirza.
Oh. Look,
is that something that reveals the second book? I don't remember that.
Guys, it's a spoilery discussion, but only for book one.
Yes. The second one. Oopsie. Oopsie, but this was me. Okay. Other question. What do you guys think about the Empress, about what she did? I didn't believe it. I was like, this is clearly a lie by these people, and she didn't actually leave. But then it seemed that she did. So I don't know. I'm still waiting for like the second book where we find out that she didn't actually just run away.
Yeah, I feel like the Empress is like obviously the most, because we kind of just hear about her. There's only like one scene that she's really in, or like one or two scenes that she's really in. Like I feel like there's so much more to learn about her, and like I think she's the greatest unknown out of all the characters that we do know. So I am really interested to see where that will go. Like in the next books. Yeah, like someone said the Empress deserves a book of her own. Oh, sorry. And I thought I agree with that. Like that would be really interesting. Sorry, what comment did you highlight before?
Yeah, I had this as well. Like I was really surprised by that because I assumed that she was like 18 or 19 years old because I thought the academy was kind of like a university, and then she got her period, and I was like, wait, how old is she? How old is Rin?
Isn't she like 16 or 17, I believe?
Oh. I thought
so.
She's at the school for like 4 years.
Yeah, that's true.
I think she goes into it like 12 or 13 or something.
Yeah,
I think you're right,
so
Meg.
I was really surprised by that scene.
Yeah.
And I also thought it would backfire, but it doesn't. I think it's just to show how brutal she is to herself.
Yeah, like I think it's like the first real time that we see that like Rin is going to make a lot of decisions that we don't agree with, Do you know what I mean? Like she's gonna, not that we don't agree with, but like necessarily, but we question. We're like, oh, would I make that decision, or like, is that the right path to go down? Like, I think it's the first seed of that. Oh, apparently she just got her period really late.
Yeah, I was trying to see.
Oh, okay.
I thought she was just really young.
That this actually makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I wrote it down in my notes because Rin described that moment of like getting her period. Like, I was having these super intense like jabs in my stomach and like, oh my god, what's happening? And then I was like, me too. And then she was like, I'm on my period. Like, she went to the doctors or like the medical thing, and then I was like, oh, she's on her period. And I wrote down that she didn't know about like periods and pregnancy stuff, and that she was 16 when that happened. And I think besides the whole scene at Golenis, like the bodies, that scene where she decides to destroy her womb, that was so intense to me. Like, but like, she's so obsessed with, of course, like she has entered the military academy. She's like given up so much for that, like so much time and energy, and that is her ultimate goal. So her seeing like every month getting your period, which of course sucks, that would like hold her back so much from her goals that she decided like, well, you know, whatever, I'm just gonna destroy it. Like, she decided it so quickly, but she also didn't know about periods before that. So
yeah, I thought it was like a character defining moment, really.
Yes. Yeah.
Definitely.
Because I feel like as the book goes on, you just become more used to the way that she acts and the way that she thinks and like the decisions she makes. But that that moment, you're like, oh my god, what? But then you get used to it as I think the book goes along.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna take a look at the things that I tabbed, because I tabbed that scene because I was like, okay. And then when she goes through the trials with all the different masters, Zhang asks her a question, and he asks what the Hulukorik is. So I was wondering if you had any theories why he asked that.
Wasn't it the question who was imprisoned in the...
Yeah, who was imprisoned in the Hulukorik? And then that was his question to her.
Yeah, I wrote it down as well, but I don't remember if it came back.
I feel like I feel like there was a moment where she was like, oh, so that's why he asked me that question, but I can't remember what it was. Is it because because the
Hulukorik is like the place where the shamans go after they've basically been consumed by their gods. So it's kind of like a warning, but it doesn't work as a warning. He doesn't know what it means, so...
No, but I think that is what he's trying to do. I think he just expects her to know. I think he's trying to like... I think he's hoping that asking that, she'll go away and like find out what that fully is, and like she'll be more worried, because I think that's his greatest fear, is like her going down that path. But then she's like, she went. Whatever.
Yeah, indeed. I guess we can talk about Jiang more now in spoilers. I love him so much.
I love him.
I just love those. I don't know why, but for some reason he felt like a familiar character that I knew from like other stories, but I couldn't think of an example. But just this, I think
maybe
this mentor type that's kind of like goofy. Yeah, but like even more goofy. Like he doesn't show up on his own classes, and he like, falls out of a tree, and he's just like completely just like free from the world kind of character that I just love it. I loved it so much. And then he turns out to be like this super powerful psych that I was like, oh, this is so cool.
What the frick? Isn't it also like, I pictured him as being this really old guy, because I don't know, whenever you have like, first of all, a mentor in ID, I'm already like old person, woman, man. Yeah. But then because he's so goofy, I don't know. I think he's somewhere like at the end of his 20s or somewhere in his 30s.
I think he was in his 40s, because he was. It was described that he was kind of old, but also half the age of the other masters.
Okay.
So I thought that maybe the other masters would be like really old, like 70 or 80, and then he would be like in his 30s.
Yeah.
This is an interesting question, by the way.
Yes.
I don't know if I agree with how it compares. I don't know. I think I actually kind of agreed. Like, I really like the kind of characters that are like, you know, you shouldn't do it, you know, like, be responsible with your power, and it's not worth it to, like, kill off your enemies if it means thousands of lives go. Like, that's what reminded me so much of Avatar: The Last Airbender, with this whole idea of, you know, trying not to kill too many people and, like, giving into your hatred.
You were maybe hoping that Rin was going to be like
so I actually really liked him. But it is true that he didn't actually, you know, he didn't really teach her everything that he could have taught her.
Yeah.
Right? Like, she learned a lot from Elton later. So.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like he definitely tries to shelter her from some things.
Yeah.
And I feel like she's not given all the information, because he's like, oh, if she knows that, she'll go down the wrong path. But like, in her not knowing that, she's put at a disadvantage because she doesn't have all the information available to her. But my like favorite scene in the whole book, and I don't know why it sticks in my memory, is I love the pig. The pig that she has to carry up the hill or whatever. I just, for some reason, that sticks in my mind. It's like, oh, classic Yang. Classic. Oh, what a guy.
Right.
But yeah, I definitely think, like, I think there's two perspectives. Like, it's good that she has, like, that person who's saying, like, don't go down that route. But also, then there's, like, a denial of the possibility. It's like shutting your eyes to the fact that she could go down the bad route. I think, like, I feel like he just kind of pretends that sometimes that, like, oh, you won't do that or whatever. Like, so yeah, someone said I think he was afraid. I think he was very afraid.
Yeah, maybe he always kind of knew what Rin was going to be capable of, but he kind of gives her, like, how do you say that? Like, she cannot see all of this, she can just see this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, destroy. That's her. That's
Yeah. So I did think it was very interesting, but I can see why Rin found it so irritating and annoying that he just would be so vague all the time, just like, get to the point sometimes. I really like Bookish Linguist's latest comment that she says maybe he is a failed Yoda.
I like
he definitely feels like a Yoda.
Yeah, I think my favorite scene of the book, if I have one, is the one where we are first introduced to Yang in part 2. So, like, when he's kind of disappeared, and then Sinigard is attacked, and he, like, saves Naja and Rin, and he's, like, levitating, and, like, there's thunder crackling around him, and the general is like, Zhang Zia, so you live after all. And it's like, and Zhang is like, do I know you? Classic Zhang. I love that scene. And like when he was in the prison, and he's like being woken up in that plinth, and then after that he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go back inside this now. Bye. Oh, you're gonna destroy the world. Yeah, just do it without me. I'm just gonna go back in my tomb.
I am not here for that.
Yeah.
That was so funny though. I don't know if I have a scene that really
I also really like this question.
Stick out to me. Ooh.
I don't know.
I have to see all of the classes that there were.
Yeah, I need to see a list.
Wait, I have a list. I need to find it.
Yeah, what was it?
Subjects. Here we go. Who knew? A little notebook, so handy. We have combat, strategy, history, weaponry, linguistics, medicine, and lore. Like, Leonie, I feel like we should choose medicine.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that
like combat and strategy would no. That would be a no for me because I don't think I could do that. And then history, I mean,
I like listening to history stories, but it just doesn't stick with me, so I don't think that would be
same
very
thing
handy.
with linguistics. Like medicine, I would like, but like lore also sounds really cool though. I
think lore.
Lore sounds
but I would probably not be good enough, but
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I don't think I'd be allowed to do lore.
Yeah.
I think strategy I found really interesting, like in the bits that we were in, because I feel like strategy was the most like other fleshed out subject.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it, and I liked how good Rin was at it. And when she chose lore, although I loved Yang, I was like, oh, strategy, I quite liked that. So I feel like I'd probably said strategy.
But that's what we have Kitai for.
Yeah.
I did really love all the scenes where they had to learn strategy and they were given all like logic questions, and I would stop reading and I would be like, okay, I'm gonna try to solve this now, and then read.
And how did it go for you? Because I'm not like that. I'm just like, well,
I got
like the
one
answer
right.
already.
Just I knew one, and that was it. Yeah.
Pretty good.
I think we have a lot more questions. You're joining it right now. This is the book club.
Yes, of course.
We're all in the book club. Everyone's naming their favorite subjects. That's cool. Ooh, Nicole asks, what did you guys think of the use of drugs? Ooh, that's a difficult question. I mean, I think it was like necessary because it was like kind of inspired by the Opium Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was very interesting how the drugs were used to contact the gods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think maybe in book 2, I hope we're gonna go a little bit more into the negative side effects of. I mean, we got it a little bit with when the heroin was used. That was kind of like really big, but then also it was kind of positive because it made it so that Rin could like access Altan and they could like talk. So I would like to see like a little bit more like negative effects. I mean, obviously it's negative, but you know.
Yeah. I did find it so devastating to see that Altan had gotten addicted to heroin. It is then as well, like when he was like crippling on the ground, I believe. And I thought it was very interesting that if you take the right dose, and I think you shouldn't take it as heroin then, right? Was it in like a different kind of way that people use it? Luckily, I'm not good with drugs and like how you should use it.
Yeah, like me neither.
But I thought it was very interesting and kind of, I don't know, not really per se necessary, but very interesting when they used it in like lower doses and like what that effect was.
Just to kind of like enhance them so they could access their gods, and that was it then. Yeah. But I thought it was an interesting addition. Sorry?
Sorry, I just feel like it wasn't something that I personally like read a lot before, like the use of drugs to like access their powers. Like I feel like it was quite an interesting element, but like I also feel like going forward it could prove to be, I mean we kind of already saw that with Altan, but like it could prove to be like a limiting thing as well. Like addiction or like reaching like a kind of ceiling with your powers as well. I don't know, but I feel like it could also, I feel like it's something that's going to be explored more, but that like at first I was like, oh my god, we're taking drugs, what? But
like the entire garden just like full of poppy and mushrooms and all these like tiny plants.
I can take, but drugs. But I feel like it was an interesting element, like as it went on.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting, and I'm actually sad that they didn't go into that more. But it was mentioned at one point that either the Federation or Nikam, I don't remember which one, but they like sent poppy to the Spearleys to basically make them addicted so they could use them. And I thought that was really interesting because, like, I don't know a lot about history, but I think that's what happened in the Opium Wars, right? That, like, the UK just introduced opium in China to just get them addicted, to, like, have them under control. And I thought that was, like, an interesting idea of using drugs as a weapon, basically, kind of more like a natural weapon. But they didn't really go into that, so maybe we'll get more of it in the other.
I like Adam's question.
Yeah, I just thought of best character in this, like, barring Alton and Rim. Ooh,
I have to find the names again.
I'm really bad
to the psych. Like, just this, just like this cool, like, found family almost.
Yeah.
Like, they were all so quirky and just, like, so fleshed out. And I was like, I want to be with them, even though that means I would probably be an assassin and have to be in a war. I still want to be with them.
Do you know, like, the first part gave me Avatar: The Last Airbender vibes, but that part also kind of gave me Mulan vibes. Not really that it was like a whole group of guys and that Rin had to act as if she was a guy, but just having a big group of, like, kind of warriors among you as well. I don't know. I got a little bit of Mulan vibes from it. I don't know why. I need to find a list of the characters again.
I really like I can't remember their name, but I really liked him as well. I really liked what's the young boy, his name? I can't remember his name.
Ramza.
Yes.
I can't remember, but
with the
I really
eye
liked
patch.
him.
With the eye patch.
Yeah.
Yes.
I really liked him. And I felt like, I wanted him to be a bigger role, but I think he was just kind of, like, there for fun almost. Do you know what I mean?
Throwing the shit.
Yeah.
He threw the shit in, like, that battle. That was really funny.
I know.
Yeah. I kind of do. I'm like, I slightly remember.
Yeah.
It was like, I think when they had to stop that boat from coming into, I need to find out the name of the city again.
Your notebook's so useful.
Yeah,
this is fantastic.
This is just the regular part. Coeur d'Alene?
Yeah.
Like, when there was this, like, boat going into the town, and Rin and Alton and all the people were gonna, like, try to stop them from coming in, and I believe that Ramza had to, like, throw shit bombs at them. I thought it was just really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree as well, but I also found the character, I don't remember, I think it was a he, I don't remember his name, who was, like, just the barrel of water.
Yes!
Oh, yeah!
I loved him so much. It was very strange, like, not explained at all that was possible, but I loved it anyway.
Yeah, and I thought it was really cool and fascinating to see how, like, his powers could be used, like changing the currents, and I was like, wow, that is actually really smart. So yeah, I thought that was definitely funny.
Yes, I love that. Also, just random, because we were talking about Chagran, like, those scenes with the tool C, like, with the hexagrams, I loved all those scenes. They were, like, super random, but, like, they went to, like, this spirit world, and there was, like, this, like, lion monster and they would have to, like, throw coins, and then she would predict the future, and I was like, I love this.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I love those, like, super weird, like, in the spirit world spirits that, like, do magical things. And it was, like, super random and, like, this small part of the story, but I really enjoyed that.
Same.
My favorite parts. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna see if I have more things tabbed.
There was a question that said, which secondary character do we think will become primary in the Dragon Republic? Which I thought was quite interesting.
Ooh.
I hope we get to see more of Chagran.
Yes.
Think.
I feel like
maybe also Nejar.
Nasha.
Oh, that name, I'm so sorry.
I feel like someone who could come back is is it Venka? That's her
That
name,
girl.
yeah,
right.
Venka. I feel like she could come back and like
Mhm.
have a bigger
Yeah.
role. I don't know, because she kind of just left after we found out all that like awful stuff had happened to her. But I feel like she may like kind of surprise us, I don't know, and come back with like a bigger role.
Yeah.
Who else? I don't know. I feel like, do you think we're going to meet a lot of new characters, or do you think it's going to be kind of like the characters we already have?
Ooh.
Because I feel like we've had already so many characters introduced to us.
I think that a lot of them will return definitely in the sequel, but I mean, of course, I think there are going to be some new characters, but I think, but I think that these are definitely stable in the story, is my feeling. Could be wrong, of course.
Mm-hmm. No. I have this one scene that I tabbed with the idea of like, I don't really understand what this means, and I think it's foreshadowing. When, wait, where is this? I think, Rin is in the Pantheon again, and she's talking to the woman, and she's like, saying like, the Hulu Kurik can't hold me, I am a Spearly, my ashes are free, and then she says, you don't want me gone, you need me. So I was like wondering, what does that mean? Like, is she gonna play some very important role? Like, why would Rin need the woman?
Wasn't she like the thing stopping her from like the performing the atrocity, kind of, I guess?
Yeah, she wasn't very successful at that.
No, she wasn't. She's like, you need me, and then like Rin just bats her out the way.
Rin's like, no, honey, you need me. Was that with all the predictions?
I think it was. No, I don't know. I can't. It's been 2 months. I can't remember. I can't remember when things happened.
It was one of the scenes in the Pantheon. There were many.
Yeah, I know what bit you're talking about. I just don't know when it happens.
Because there was like this one big scene when she went to the Pantheon. Don't know how to say it. And like the woman or someone made all of these predictions of like what Rin was gonna do. I think they were about Rin. I'm trying to see if I can find it now, but I can't. No, I'm sorry. I don't know where to see it. No.
Yeah.
So stupid. I don't see it anymore. I can't find it. I hate that when that happens.
That's the worst. When you're like, it should be here, and you're like looking, and you're like, where is it?
Can't find it. I was wondering how you felt about another shocking scene that Alton and Rin were in this like testing camp. I think it was on the island of Spear, where that like testing facility was, or I don't know. It was not at Spear. It was like at the coast of the Nakara Empire, and it was kind of at the end of the story where like
with Shinu or Shiro.
I don't remember that professor's kind of name, but just before Alton and Rin escaped that scene was, by the way, so action-packed and so cool and intense. But before that, when they were talking about testing on their bodies again, I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, I really don't like that.
No.
But it was a good scene, though.
Yeah. And the fact that there's all these parts that we're like, oh, this is horrible to read, and then people are like, it gets worse, and I'm like, no!
Oh gosh. I don't think we're ready for the Dragon Republic.
No,
I don't think we are.
No. I keep putting, and how is it so much bigger? Like, I thought the Poppy War was big, and then the Dragon Republic is like so big. I'm like, oh my god, it's so
How long
scary.
is it?
I don't know. Hang on.
I thought it was like just over 100 and something pages longer than the Poppy War.
It's like 650.
Yeah.
Whereas this is I've got
my god,
thing on
like 530 or something.
Yeah, 530. But like it looks
so big.
Oh,
holy crap! Huh?
It looks way bigger.
Is it from the same publisher and everything?
Yeah, it's the same.
Oh.
Like,
Wow.
they're both the hardbacks. I think they're the same height, kind of, yeah. But then, that looks like more than 150 pages. Don't you think?
That's like almost double.
Yeah!
Like,
maybe the pages are just thicker, like the actual pages. I don't know. Oh god, this is scary. I can't even think about it.
Yeah. Do you guys have any predictions for the next book? Because one of the things that I remembered, because when they were in that prison, they released Phelan.
Oh yes,
and then nothing happened. So I was like, why did nothing happen?
Something
but it
will
seems
happen
to
later on.
Be like in the second book, and you know, because he's like this big god that's like released. So really interesting playing, because I have no idea what to imagine him as or what he's capable of. We're just told that he's bad and strong.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be, I think, a big part of the second one, because otherwise, like, why would it happen? Do you know what I mean? Like, they'd be like, oh, this powerful god has been released, and then like nothing happens. I think
because that's what I thought at first, but then it seems to be
I feel like maybe I don't know, maybe like some of the psych are gonna have to go like track him down or something. I don't know, or I don't know.
I have literally zero expectations for book 2 regarding like what's gonna happen. Just I cannot come up with anything. I just don't know.
Probably just everyone's calling him the wind guy.
Yeah.
The wind guy. I think he's gonna be important. Yeah. I do hope. I was really wondering if we're gonna see like more negative consequences of Rin contacting the Phoenix, because I feel like it was made into like such a big thing, like don't do it, you know, like it will ruin you, it will be like the worst, and then she did it and it didn't seem to have that many negative consequences, at least to her. So I didn't really buy into this whole idea of, oh no, the Phoenix is like so like terrible and dangerous, and you know, he will take, but I was like, but all he has done so far is make these characters really powerful. So,
yeah, I feel like that's what's going to happen now.
I really missed the negative consequences, actually.
I was thinking, isn't it like at the ending, it's very vague in my head, but that when she kind of gets taken over by the fire god, the fire spirit, that she cannot control what she's doing, and then she kind of gets back into her body when I believe she wakes up on this boat, if I'm saying it correctly, and she's kind of like, okay, the fire god is constantly present with me, kind of, and it feels really strange, and it like, I don't know, maybe in the second book something really big will happen and she cannot really control what she's doing and she's gonna go crazy.
Like, of course, I mean, she did a lot of negative things, but that was the whole point, was that was her own decision, you know, that the gods don't actually influence you. And it's like your own decision.
I feel like now, like, it started her on that path. Do you know what I mean? Like, I what I saw it as was like them saying, once you do that, there's no turning back. You know, like once you do that, like you're on that path. And so now I feel like the second and third book are like her dealing with those consequences and like going forward from that. But do you guys think it is going to be like do you think she's going to be the villain? Do you know what I mean? Like, is she going to be like?
People say that.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just hope she's going to stay with the psych, and that she's not.
I don't know.
But I did hear a lot of people say that it's kind of like her villain origin story or something. So.
Okay. Yeah,
I don't know.
She does
it would be interesting.
But
I do want to see more of the psych. So.
Yeah. Well, she's with them right now, isn't she? Like, she's with some of them right now.
Yeah, but if she's going to turn into the villain, I don't think they would support her.
No.
Oh, she's their commander now, though. That was really cool.
She is. She has a lot of power at the moment, which is scary to think about, because I do have a feeling that she will go more into, like, madness. But I think she will have, like, an internal battle with herself, but she cannot stop it.
Yeah.
That's a little bit how I feel about it.
Yeah, I think that's what it's gonna be too. And like constantly you think, oh maybe I don't know, I'm just speculating, but like constantly thinking, oh maybe she'll make the decision I think she should make, and then she's like, nah. Sorry.
People, no spoilers for the second book. People are saying things. Don't do that. Sorry.
Do you guys think Kitai will always be against Rin's actions? I do think so.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be like a point of conflict in the next books. That he's going to be like the voice of reason, and I don't know, maybe they'll have like a fallout. I don't know.
Yeah, it feels like
I just hope that Kitai won't be like corrupted and also becomes bad. I saw this meme on Twitter of like, you know, like the picture of the, you know, those, what's that called? Like chiropractors pictures of like someone's back with like this red glowing spot of like, ooh, backache. And it was like Kitai's back after carrying all the rationality of the
I need to find more memes about the Poppy War.
You need to follow our Kuang on Twitter then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her Twitter's the best. That one of my
I do follow her, but
Twitters.
I don't
and
think
I
her
think
tweets
also
are popping
Lily.
up.
Lily
Yeah,
from
Lily.
and Maurice.
Yeah. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited to read the second one. I don't know when I'm going to get around to it because I feel like I'm going to keep putting it off just out of fear.
Yeah.
Like,
now I'm like a little bit scared because it's so big and like heavy on politics, and I'm scared that I'm not going to get through it. But yeah.
I mean, you.
But I think once Burning God comes out.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was thinking like it's just the sound in the microphone, and then it doesn't work sometimes. But if one of you is gonna start reading it, please let me know because I need a buddy reading partner to motivate me.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But I
think when the Burning God comes out, there's gonna be like more hype around it, and then maybe.
True.
But there's so many books coming out in like fall that I want to read. And I can't read them all.
Yeah.
I'll be writing my thesis then, so I don't know how alive I will be around that time.
Me too, probably. So.
We'll die together. Yay.
Yeah. Yeah, I did also hear that she based Rin on Azula. From Avatar. I didn't really see that, but I guess kind of just like evil.
Yeah.
Villain. Yeah. I like that there's this main character that's so morally wrong. I wouldn't even say morally great. It's just wrong. Yeah. Oh, someone asked what will be the next book for the Worldreaders Book Club. We have a poll on Twitter right now. Yes, you can choose from the 3 possibilities. Maybe we can also tweet underneath that like a link to Goodreads so people can like actually look and it's not just a popularity contest.
It's very funny because I said you have 48 hours to cast your vote, and then I forgot to adjust the length of the poll, so it's 24 hours long right now. Is that okay?
Can't you change that?
No.
I don't think you can change anything about your tweets, which I find super annoying.
Mm-hmm.
I'll add the Goodreads links to all the books.
So people can
They're really good choices.
Mm-hmm. I'm really excited
to see.
I'm excited. I think a lot of people have already cast their votes.
Yeah.
Also, if you don't yet follow our Twitter, you should follow the Twitter. Because that's also like Sabine and I live tweet when we read the books. Non-spoiler, but we kind of live tweet. Right now we have 90 votes. And Mexican Gothic is like the top vote right now.
I'm putting the Goodreads page right now.
When I voted, there were 15 votes and each had 5. Like exactly, so they were all the same. And I was like, oh!
Oh, wait. What's the title again? Star Daughter.
Star Daughter. They're all really exciting books. Like Mexican Gothic and Star Daughter especially are ones that I am very excited for.
Very nice. They're also like the more recent releases.
Yeah. Oh, someone said, what do you think of Kuang as a writer, and do you think she would be able to get more stuff out like this one with new themes? But so I think we spoke about her next book at the start, didn't we? But it's going to be like dark academia. I think it looks into like colonialism at like prestigious universities, doesn't it? Is it fantasy though, like those themes but fantasy, or is it just dark academia?
I don't know. I know that it's going to be taking place at Oxford.
Yes, yeah, it is.
I don't know. Maybe it could be like Ninth House, that it has some fantasy, but she didn't mention that. But I don't know why, but I always assume if someone has written a fantasy book, then every book is going to contain some fantasy. But maybe
that's
she
what I think as well.
She mostly focused on how it was going to be like about colonialism and imperialism and classism. So I think that's really interesting.
That's really interesting.
And very necessary in the dark academia genre.
I still haven't read a dark academia.
You should read Ninth House.
Yeah, I still haven't read it. I did. Yeah, Leola gave it to me. But I'm sorry. I know that Leo. Okay, I think it will be. I think I'll like it a lot, but I'm just. I need to get to it. I'm sorry.
It's a really like polarizing book. Like not everyone liked it, but I loved it. I was like
loved it as well.
I might need to reread it. Like
Which book? Ninth House.
Ninth House, yeah. But the sequel, the next one, isn't coming out till like 2022. So I feel like
2022.
Yeah, she said on. I think it was supposed to be 2021, but she said on Twitter the other day it's not till 2022.
Oh no!
I know, right?
Then
I'm just okay with it.
Well, you have 3 years to read it, Sabine.
That's why. I mean, I'm a slow reader. Maybe if I start now, I'll finish the book when the sequel comes out.
I think she said originally that there was going to be like 7 books in the series or something ridiculous like that. Like we're going to be like in 2040, like reading the last book or something.
I'm there for it. To be honest. I can't even imagine getting to a point where like your favorite authors stop writing books.
No.
I don't want to think about it. No.
That I just want to say that makes me kind of sad to think about.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, she said, I'd love to write at least 5 books in that series.
Oh, okay.
I think. I feel like that's crazy. Oh, I want to reread Ninth House now. I feel like there's autumn setting in. Like I'm in like that dark academia vibe, you know?
It really is an autumnal book. I think this is a good question, by the way. Did Rin ever actually shoot an arrow, like the cover implies? Does she ever have a bow and arrow?
I don't remember that.
I don't think she has a sword,
it's all
right?
A lie.
Yeah. Like here, this one's more correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all. Maybe, or like at the battle at Synagogue, does she have arrows at some point then?
Maybe.
I feel like arrows are mentioned then.
Yeah, maybe.
I think, but I might be wrong.
What do you guys think of the cover art?
I like it.
Pretty.
I'm like, I think this is an unpopular opinion, but I don't really like it. When I first saw this book, I thought it was nonfiction. I don't know why, but it has that vibe. I think it's just a little too, I don't know, just kind of like, how do you say that? Like, it doesn't really say a lot. It's just kind of like typical ink brush strokes because it's Eastern and they're fighting. But not, I don't know, I would have liked something with a little more character that's like specific to this book. Yeah.
I get that,
I did really like it because it looks kind of like watercolor, and I just really like that. But I have seen other covers. I don't know which.
I do like this one better than the American covers, I like this one better because this one's white, and the American covers are like with the color.
Oh yeah,
I actually do like that. I don't know if I have a preference, but there are these covers. I don't know if they're from No, they're not from Thailand. I think
In the Indonesian covers.
I think so.
Those are
where
really
Rin is like actually drawn, and
I think that's the Indonesian covers.
Yeah, the one with the Dragon Republic is so pretty. Like there's this white dragon going over the cover as well, and I love those covers so much.
Yeah.
Trying to see if I can find it.
Oh.
Yeah, I agree with Nicole that it's very Brandon Sanderson vibes.
Yeah,
I think.
Probably kind of yeah. I do like those covers. Yes.
I love that one.
So pretty.
It's very vague because of my camera. I'm sorry. I'm trying to see if the Dragon Republic is on there as well, because I love that cover so much. The Dragon Republic. Oh, yes. Oh my god, this one is so pretty.
But that does mean nice. I was just thinking about this. So dragons are going to be a thing? Where are they going to come from?
I think that the name, the Dragon Republic, is kind of hinting towards the Dragon Lord. Was that his name? Like Nesha's father?
Right.
And him? And that's why I thought that it was going to be the Dragon Republic. But I also hope that dragons will play a role. But that's kind of how I was thinking.
Why would they be on the cover?
Yeah,
put a dragon on the cover, right?
Let there be dragons, please.
I hope so. That would be really cool.
I haven't even thought about his dad. Oh, wow, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true.
No, but that would make sense because there's like a power vacuum now, right? Like, because hasn't the Empress fled almost? Did she flee at the end?
I think so.
No.
I feel like she betrayed and she's like in hiding somewhere, isn't she?
Yeah.
Or am I imagining that? So like people might take advantage of that to like gain more power. I don't know. I could be wrong. Oh, someone said she did. I don't know. But it'd be so cool if like there's actual dragons. But I feel like it'd be weird, like because we haven't heard anything about dragons yet, and then there's like suddenly there's dragons.
I wouldn't be opposed.
No.
Right. Are there any other things that we didn't talk about yet? There are just so many cool things happening.
Too many cool things happened.
Yeah.
When Rin just like swam to Spear Island, I was like,
yeah.
What? She just swam there for like days?
Yeah.
How's that I didn't buy that. I was like,
it felt like she was on drugs again, like she just took heroin or something, because she was like, wasn't she like swimming with her back in like the water and then just staring up at the sky and being like, oh
yeah,
my God,
that
it's
also
so pretty.
But like if you're drugged, then you can't swim, right? I don't know.
Yeah, it was
like
weird.
You would drown more likely.
I was just like, I'm gonna suspend my, my suspicions here. I'm just like, okay, whatever. I'll just accept it.
Yep.
I'm something in my eye. Sorry. Okay, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay?
I'm okay. Oh, I feel like we've done a good job of like covering everything, but also this book, there's just so many like different aspects of it, like because there's so much is crammed in almost. Not crammed in because it doesn't feel like it, but just so much happens that like there's just so many different parts you can speak about.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the next book.
I'm scared.
Yes. Scared but excited. Yeah, that.
When does The Burning God come out? Is it
Somewhere in
November?
November.
20th?
I think November.
I feel like I should probably. I feel like I should read this before then, but then.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it won't
26.
happen with me.
No.
Just
I
because
doubt it
I'll be so
myself.
stressed about my thesis. Honestly, I'm already stressed.
I'm like just pretending university doesn't exist. Quite frankly.
I thought you had
Like,
finished university.
no, I'm going into my last year.
Oh
I'm-
my
But
god.
I don't do, because I do journalism, I have to make a documentary instead of like writing a dissertation. And I'm just like pretending it's not happening. Like I'm like, that doesn't
Sound really cool though.
That sounds really cool. I would rather make a documentary than write a thesis.
Yeah, it's kind of like way easier. I'm like, why do they let us do this? Like, why does?
And
this
I mean, you
count
have
so
the
much?
editing skills, like you know, you already have that. Oh my god, I would love to make, like,
I can't really put
video.
memes in it. That's the sad thing. Like, I can't just stick memes in the documentary. I'm like, oh god, all my skills are gone.
Maybe at the ending, if you would do it, you would like end the documentary on some kind of meme. Like, I don't know.
Just Gemma Collins like running out, going, "Get me out of here" or something.
Just oh, that would be so funny though.
Yeah, but like I don't know, like I can't go into people's homes and film anymore and stuff because of like coronavirus. Like it's gonna be hard. I'm gonna be like filming in people's gardens or something. I don't know. I'm just ignoring it. I'm just like, that doesn't fit with my fantasy right now. So it's just not part of my life right now. I'm just not thinking about it.
Just on Booktube here. We're all just nothing's happening.
Oh, I wish that was the case.
Yeah.
A documentary about
that's
memes?
Like a good idea. Like, I think I could. Like, why is Gemma Collins such a great meme? That's my. That's my.
I didn't
think it's your subject.
Oh dear! Can you imagine my uni markers if I was like, right? So today I'm gonna be just sticking in the memes. But I think I am gonna do something bookish though. I just don't know. I don't know what yet. I think like about the bookish industry or something. It has to be quite serious journalism. Apparently, I don't know. I'll just. I don't know how we got onto this. You're much more. I'm making a fucking documentary. And you're like, got out here writing a thesis, and I'm like, oh, woe is me. You gotta write loads.
I mean, it's still a shit ton of work. So, I mean, of course, but I wish that in some type of way I could make like a video about biomedical sciences, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
You can ask, like, listen, let me just make a video instead.
Yeah, I wish, but there are just like rules and stuff.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm scared, but like, I want to get to it by like the end of the year. That's my goal. The end of the year.
Good goal.
It's just scary.
But I mean, like, if it's written in the same way as the Poppy War, which it probably is, then it's kind of okay to get through, I think, at least with the Poppy War for me. So then 650 pages seem a little less intimidating.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, I read the Priory of the Orange Tree, so now everything seems possible to me.
Yeah.
You're like 650 pages? Pfft, this is freaking easy.
I mean, it still terrifies me, but I'm like, I did 800 pages, so I can do this too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think we talked about everything. Does anyone have any questions in the chats? Maybe? Any predictions? Mayhaps. And then...
Okay.
Yeah, no, sorry.
So I was just saying, people are saying that it's a quick read, like Dragon Republic. So that's very promising.
Well, now all the intimacy is completely gone. Like, of course I can read it in a day.
In a 24-hour reading vlog.
I honestly don't know. With me, would already be an achievement, like reading 100 pages in 24 hours.
That's also good. I feel you. Okay, I think that's everything. I really hope you guys enjoyed this first live show of the Worldreaders book club. Also, thank you, Meg, for being here.
Yes, thank you so much for having
me. I had so much fun.
Yeah, I have links to both Sabine and Meg's channel in the description, so definitely check them out. And I really guess you hope. I really hope you guys liked this live show. I really hope you found a great book by reading with us in our book club. And we will see you soon in 2 months, but hopefully earlier if you watch our video.
And definitely check out the Twitter with our announcements for like what is going to be the pick for September, October. Apparently the poll is up for 24 hours, so quickly vote. Yeah, I really love doing this, and I just want to say thank you, girls, so much for the nice discussion, and I just had a really nice time, and also for the audience.
Yeah, it just feels so nice to really like discuss a book in depth with a bunch of people. Like that's what I love about BookTube, and this is like even more than just making a video about it. It's just like full spoilers, just interaction.
2 hours long almost right now. I mean,
oh my gosh.
I don't do that on my YouTube very often. Never.
2-hour discussion of a book, which is spoiler. So. Yes. Okay. So I guess I'm just gonna end the broadcast here. I hope you guys have a great night, if it's night where you're at, and otherwise have a great day. Bye.
Bye. Bye.